Oh, yeah. Another episode of the Tech Preacher Podcast, baby. Listen, man, one thing I do want to mention before I even start this podcast, I really appreciate y'all guys saying stuff like, y'all really appreciate the inspiration that I've been giving in my podcast. Because y'all know I've been kind of changing it up a little bit. Yes, I'm going to talk about a little tech, but I also want to give you the word of the day. Some of my thoughts about life, right? And as I do these podcasts, I want to kind of give you guys two segments of the podcast. I'm going to talk about tech at the beginning of the podcast, and I'm going to talk about some of my thoughts about life in general and the word of the day. So we're going to get into it. Listen, man, let me tell you something. I've been doing these podcasts now for a while now, right? My whole thought process about doing these podcasts is to give y'all guys some of my inspiration, some of my positivity, some of the things that I actually do every day, right? And this is the stuff that I preach all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, let's get into it. Let me talk about some things that I've changed up, right? I've changed up a lot in the last couple of weeks. I started a new TikTok page, and I've been kind of going full force on TikTok, trying to get myself acclimated to the short form content. And the reason why is because we start to see a huge decline in long form content going into more of the short content. So I want to get my foot in the game. I want to kind of get myself more exposed. So I started a TikTok page. Now I'm already on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, and Twitter and Threads. But I wanted to expose myself a little bit on TikTok. And I want to give a huge thanks to the TikTok community for welcoming me, man, and showing me some love. And I'm talking about some real love, man. I mean, I dropped some content over there. It's some short form content, and it's been this spectacular. So thank y'all guys. And I'm going to continue to drop a lot of content over there as I get on with my new journey on TikTok. So if you haven't followed me on TikTok, please go check it out. It's the Tech Preacher on TikTok. Man, I'm putting a lot of content on there, and it's been great. So check it out. All right, so let's talk about something else that I'm switching up. And that's going to be, listen, man, I know I do this a lot. I change up my daily drivers, right? And the reason why is because I want to experience some old, but in some new, right? And one of the things that I found myself doing is just going back into feeling some of the old devices. This kind of, I don't know, it's just one of those things that I get more satisfaction using the older devices versus newer devices. And it's been like that for me for a very long time. The newer devices, in my opinion, sometimes just doesn't do it for me. So that's why I always either keep an old device with me, and I try to rock with newer devices. So let's talk about the Google Pixel 4, because I got that as one of my daily drivers, right? Overall, before I did what I did, I have not been impressed with this device as far, well, let me recap that. I've been impressed, but not impressed. All right, let me talk about it, right? This is my second Google Pixel 4. And one of the things that I found myself doing is acclimating myself to the device, not the device acclimating to me, right? You think about this, right? Some of the things I do with the Google Pixel 4 is I have turned things off. I've done things. To gain better battery life, to try to keep the device cool, to try to do a lot of different things. And this is my second device, but I still like the device. And this is why I keep it as my second daily driver. Listen, man, the Google Pixel 4 brings a lot to the table that I like. The clean bill of Android and stuff like that. I love the smoothness. I love the performance. I love the wide display. When I open it up, I love that. Even though I got, Galaxy Folds and stuff like that. But I want to experience what Google got as far as the future. So let me tell you some things that I've done with the Pixel 4 to acclimate me to the device, right? As y'all guys know, It's very hot, right? The hot months of the year, right? And when you bring devices out, obviously it gets overheated and stuff like that. So one of the things that I don't do, if I'm working outside in the field or if I'm going outside, I'm going to be at the parks and stuff like that, I do not bring this device because it's no good for me in those situations. I need a device that's reliable in those situations, and the Google Pixel 4 is not a device for that situation. And it's okay. I realize that. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse over a device that doesn't work for me in certain situations. That's fine, you know. It's not fine to a lot of people. It's not fine for y'all guys that's watching this or listening to this podcast. Y'all, $1,800 phone. What you mean you can't do what you want with it? Listen, I'm acclimating to the device. The device is not acclimating to me. Second thing that I did was I turned off 5G. What I was finding was 5G was not only making the device a little more warmer than usual, maybe that the signal strength is not that great on 5G, so I turned to the 4G, and it's been great. Listen, the speed's been okay. I have not been, complaining about the speed, so I put it on 4G LTE, and it's working fine, okay? And so by me switching it down from 5G to 4G, not only did I save battery life, but it keeps the device a little cooler. Also, as far as the display, this is one of the reasons why I don't bring the device outside, because sometimes you can't see it in bright sunlight, direct sunlight, stuff like that. So what I did was I turned off 120 hertz and I got it on 60 hertz. Listen, the reason why, the 120 hertz, 90 hertz doesn't faze me too much, right? Because, listen, man, one of my daily drivers is LG V60, and that's a 60 hertz display, right? Another device that I keep is a unihertz tank, right? Well, that tank does have a 120 hertz display, but, it's here or there. Some of my older devices, like, the Note 9, Note 10, and all that stuff like that, those all got 60 hertz display, so there's no big deal to me. But I find myself when I put it on 60 hertz on this device, not only does it save battery life, but it keeps it cool. So the battery life was not that great, 4.5 hours of screen on time. But once I did those acclimations to the device, it dropped it. I got longer battery life. I'm getting better battery life. I'm getting, from 4.5 to maybe 5, almost close to 6 hours of screen on time. Great, right? The device has been a lot cooler, but I don't bring it outside in these hot elements, stuff like that. But overall, it's been okay. So the camera's been fantastic. The inner display, watching movies and content has been fantastic, and stuff like that. So it's been okay for that. So I just want to kind of give you guys an update on my Google Pixel 4. Plus, I went on and I put the beta version of Android 14 on here. I just did that today. But everything that I say in this video, I'm still keeping it on this device, no 120 hertz, no 5G, and stuff like that, just so I can keep the device cool and I don't bring it into the element. All right, so that's my deal with the Pixel 4. And then, listen, man, I want to see what Google do to the device to make it better. This is one of the reasons why I'm holding on to the Pixel 4, right? It's something about it that I got to keep it in my hand for some strange reason, right? Out of all these phones that I have, I'm just trying my best to have that Google Pixel 4 in my hand to give it the benefit of the doubt. And listen, my number one daily driver that I've been using every day is the Galaxy S23 Ultra. It has been a fantastic device. Listen, man, overall, pound for pound, slab phones. Listen, for me, you can't get no better. Listen, I got the Galaxy S22 Ultra, was a fantastic device. The Galaxy S23 Ultra is a fantastic device. You really can't find no faults on this device, right? I mean, come on, man. Good battery life, great performance, outdoor visibility, very bright display, no heating issues for me. This is what I bring outside when I'm, doing a lot of outside gigs and stuff like that. I bring this device, no problem, no thermal issue. Samsung DeX on the spot, right? I mean, you got a lot of things. S Pen support. I mean, God, it is a true testament on how good a phone is the Galaxy S23 Ultra, right? And listen, I switch up. If I don't bring my Pixel 4, if I'm out and about, I bring my Unihertz Tank 2. Unihertz Tank 2, again, a brighter display, right? A very bright display outside of the Element. Listen, man, this phone is a workhorse in the outside Element. So if I need to make phone calls, text, even take photos and video, the phone does very well when it comes down to videos and stuff like that. Tank 2 is a rugged, phenomenal battery for days and days and days, no problem. Direct sunlight, you can see it, no problem. I bring the Unihertz tank when I'm outside. This has got to be a must in my pocket when I'm outside. This is 100% reliable phone outside. Don't matter how hot, how cold, how bright the sun is. This is 100% reliable phone outside. It's 100% reliable phone if you need to make phone calls and it's burning hot. The phone won't cut off on you. It will do what it got to do no matter what. The Unihertz tank is a phenomenal device in a rugged, hot, very hot situation outside in the Element. Hours and hours and hours. This phone will work no matter what. 100% reliable. So that's it. Or I would take the LG V60. LG V60 is for my taking notes. I always keep my bamboo pen, right? Bamboo pen, dual display. Listen, when I'm at the coffee house, right, and I need to have a mini laptop, LG V60, you put this how big this phone is. You put it down here, you got your keyboard up here, you got your display up here, right? And you typing away, you jot down notes right here. It fits great on the it is a mini PDA, right? It is listen, man, this phone is a workhorse. If I need to get work done, whether or not I need to sign documents, connect to a external display for desktop mode, write down notes, everything, multitasking, outside visibility, no problems at all. The LG V60 is the ultimate workhorse for me. So these are the daily drivers and I know I'm saying 4 phones, but since I started doing TikTok and everything, I needed devices to have great cameras, reliability, especially if I'm gonna shoot outside, right? If I'm shooting outside the parks and stuff like that, I need reliability. But if I'm in the studio or something like that, I would use a Google Pixel Fold. Matter of fact, I shot a few TikToks with the Pixel Fold inside the studio, nice and cold and stuff like that. No issues. I have no problem with that. But if I'm outside in the Element, listen, man, I got to bring some workhorses that's reliable, man. I need some phones that if I'm outside and I'm shooting for a long period of time, I don't want to have this thought in my mind that I got limitations on photos and limitation on video. So for me, this is where I'm at. My daily drivers, right? Listen, I got the OnePlus here, and I got oh Lord, let me tell you something. I got the LG Wing right here, man. And I've been kind of swapping it in and out. Also, I got the Velvet sitting right here. I've been putting my Star Trek stuff on here. So it's been great. And I got the Note 9. Popped my SIM card in the Note 9. Listen, I always pop my SIM card in and out the Note 9 every now and then. Just to use it, man. Just to kind of use it. Again, I'm the type of person, man, that I absolutely enjoy older devices. Not only that older devices works great. It's been reliable. It's been very, very good overall. It's workhorse that works great. I don't have no problems with him. Like, what I'm saying? Like, if you go back in the day, man, and you look at how your older devices, 2019, 2020, 2021 devices, man, those devices was reliable, man. Those devices don't give you no issues. Those devices, they've been workhorses for you, right? And it's been workhorses for me. Listen, so I just want to talk about that a little bit and my thoughts about the Pixel 4. And I just put Android 14 beta on it in the last hour or so before I started this podcast, and it's been okay. Let me see, man. Let me work with it, man, and go from there, man. And listen, it's all good, man. I ain't tripping. It's all good. All right, so listen, man. Let's talk about the word of the day, right? And the word of the day is going to be strength. That's the word of the day, man. Let's talk about it for a second, because Listen, man, we are living in times. I know I talk about tech and stuff like that, and we're living in times where, it's a lot of people is uneasy. A lot of people have lost faith. A lot of people is doing some weird things that you ain't never saw before. Listen, man, my condolences go out to the folks, man. It's just out there in Florida, and with the mass shooting and stuff like that, man, it's just one of those things that we have to be strong for each other. Some way, somehow, we've lost something in our communities, and I think we need to gain that back. Listen, man, I need for everybody to be strong, man, because strength will get you out of the darkness. Think about this. And last week I talked about how when you come home, your home is your salvation, right? Listen, man, I want y'all to understand. I want y'all to piggyback off of last week when I talked about, when you leave work, man, the positivity, the energy that you bring home to your family, it has to be positive, right? Strength it's not about lifting weights and, being masculine. Strength can be with the mind, body, and soul, right? Strength is that you have to be strong for your family. Listen, man, we right now in the summer months of the year, which we have disastrous stuff that's going on as far as hurricanes, right? I'm down south. And one of the things that scares a lot of us that live down south is that when we look at the tropics, right? We see what's going on in the water. It's so hot right now. Hurricanes and all that stuff build up. And we just had one that just hit the southern United States. And so for us, we have to be strong for our family. Listen, man, you have to put things in place for you and your family. Listen, man, as a man or a female or anybody that's head of your household, your number one priority is the safety of your family, right? You have to be strong for your family. Listen, everything is not going to be peaches and cream. You're going to have the things going to happen. I talked about it on my live stream that I had put my vehicle in the shop. Matter of fact, I just got my vehicle out the shop today. So let's go back 7 days. I had my starter went out in my vehicle, right? Bought my vehicle to the shop, got it replaced. They had my vehicle a couple of days, got the vehicle out the shop, and 3 or 4 days later, my water pump went out. These are all unexpected expenses, man. So how could you prepare for unexpected expenses? Well, you prepare for being strong. Because guess what? When you have an unexpected expense, you can't just look around and say, oh my God, I just spent $2,000 on a smartphone. Now I don't have the money to pay for a vehicle. They do things like that. This is why I always encourage and I talk about things like saving money, buying older devices, rocking devices till the wheels fall off, saving money. For the last couple of years, my whole thing is that, yes, it's all hype. Everybody want the new latest and greatest. And it's all good if you got the funds. But before you go out and you spend your hard-earned money on these gadgets that gets old fast, by the way, right? In tech terms, make sure that your family and your nest egg is set up first. Do you really need to spend $2,000 on a smartphone? Do you really need to spend $1,000 on a smartphone? And I know what a lot of people say, well, I traded in and I got it on my contract and I'm paying for it for 2 or 3 years, but your bills still go up though, right? You trade in a phone and you get a new phone. Listen, if it's beneficial, if you can find a great deal, which we talk about great deals, go for it. There's no problem. Listen, I talked about this when I traded in. I don't know what phone I traded in, but I had got the Flip 4 or something, and it was even Steven. I mean, Samsung was giving you $1,000, and all the thing you had to do is pay taxes on it. And some people that traded in they Flip 4 for the Flip 5 fantastic because you didn't really pay for that. That's probably the better deal of the day because he paid less than $100 for it, right? So that is a good thing. That means that you got a newer device and you really didn't pay for anything. But when you talk about the Z Fold 4 going to the Z Fold 5, it becomes a different thing, right? Z Fold 4 going to the Z Fold 5, listen, you give it up a $2,000 phone, right? After tax. Listen, I call it how we see you give up a $2,000 phone and Samsung will give you $1,000 for it to buy another $2,000 phone. That means you got to give Samsung $1,000. Now, wow, right? That means that it's a $3,000 turnaround. You give up a $2,000 phone plus give Samsung $1,000 up front and you give away a phone. That means that's a $3,000 turnaround. Is that good though? A lot of people did it. Listen, I found that I didn't like what Samsung was doing with the Z Fold 5. Listen, I did not put it off the table, me buying it, but I didn't buy it because I feel that Samsung didn't do it for me. Listen, I got the Z Fold 1, Z Fold 2, Z Fold 3, Z Fold 4, right? And for me, after having the Flip 1, Flip 2, Flip 3, Flip 4, Fold 1, Fold 2, Fold 3, and Fold 4, I want Samsung to do something that intrigues me. And this is one of the reasons why I passed on it. And listen, I didn't put it off the table. I might grab it down the line because listen, it's a collection for me. But listen, I might grab the device when it go down to the $1,000 or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give up my beloved Fold 4 for a Fold 5 and give Samsung $1,000. If I could keep my Fold 4 and give Samsung $1,000 cash and carry, baby, that's what I'm gonna do. Get it on Amazon Renew, baby, because we all know that the prices go drop. So if you pay $2,000 for it 6 months later, baby, it's gonna be $12.99. It's gonna be $11.99. So that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, baby, I'm gonna wait till the price drop because that's called being smart. Being strong is something that you have to build up within. Listen, man, being strong for me, not buying a product or something like that, I had to change. I had to make some changes, man. I had to do some changes. I had to force myself to sit back and think about things. Listen, for 7 to 8 years, man, I've been going full spending tons of money on stuff, bro. And I ain't gonna lie to you. If I could go back, I ain't gonna lie to you. I like this stuff. I ain't gonna lie. But I had to have self-control. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have to have self-control. At the end of the day, man, listen, we love our tech, we love our gadgets, man, but listen, it's more to this. It's more to this. You know, it's more to life than it. This is hobbies, right? Listen, you love your tech. There's nothing wrong with loving tech. We love it. This is what you watch. This is why you listen to this podcast. This is why you watch my YouTube channel. This is why because you just melt when you see all these tech gadgets all over the place. It's like one of the things like, wow, I wish that I could have this. It's not a wish. If you want it, work hard to get it. Listen, man, I always hit, when we talk about strength, you have to be strong. If you want something, and if you could put aside a percentage of your hard-earned money, it may take you a month, may take you 2 months, may take you 3 months, but you got to be strong enough to sacrifice what your wants at that time to get what you want. See, it's all about strength, man. Listen, we talk about this a lot, right? We talk about that every year all these new gadgets come out. So in 2024, which is not that far away, if you looking forward to the S24 Ultra, or if you want to get the Pixel Fold 2 and stuff like that, if you start saving a percentage of your hard-earned money now, be strong enough not to spend it, and then once the devices come out, you have your nest egg ready to buy it, then that's the way to go. Listen, it's all good. Listen, I watch YouTube a lot. So, I mean, it's all good. I be watching a lot of tech videos. I watch them all day. I get excited watching other people's channels. It's all good. It's fun. It's fun. But at the end of the day, baby, let me tell you something. At the end of the day, regardless of all of these tech toys that I got on my table here and more over there, it's all about being strong for my family, baby. Listen, man, what I want you to take away from this podcast today is that if you piggyback off my podcast from last week, I talk about positivity. I talk about how when you would be at work, you get slammed by your bosses, you go through problems and issues, you go home, you're pissed off. But I talk about getting in your vehicle, woosah. If you had to make a pit stop, sometimes fellas got to go stop and have them a couple of cold ones or whatever before you go home. Your house supposed to be sunshine and roses, baby. When you walk in the door, you're supposed to be sunshine and roses, not coming home to a uproar because you've been mad of what you've been going through all day. What I want you guys to do is be strong for you and your family. Have the ability to take advantage of the strength. Listen, every day is a challenge. It's not going to be peaches and cream. Everybody have a plan to go to the mountaintop, but it's hard to get there. You know what I'm saying? Listen, let me tell you something. Going to the top is endless. So you have to think about it like that. It's no top. It's always something that you're trying to achieve. But if you work hard at it and you save your money for your family and you save your money for your tech toys, you could get whatever you want to be happy. And listen, man, we got iPhones coming out. Everybody getting excited for it. And people, we gonna talk about it. We gonna have some fun about it. And we gonna go from there. But listen, I want you to take away the message of the day is being strong for you and your family. Regardless of all this tech stuff that we talk about here on this podcast, you need to be strong for you and your family, baby. Be prepared for the unexpected because it's gonna happen. I promise you, the unexpected gonna happen. What you gonna do when the unexpected happen? It's up to you to be strong, baby, for you and your family. Listen, as a leader, you have to be strong for you and your family. Love your family. Take care of your family. Have your neck saved for your family. Listen, sometimes you got to get out this tech stuff and go take care of family. Sometimes, listen, I'm in the studio all day, working all day. My wife come in and says, it's time to come out of the studio. I ain't gonna argue. You know what I'm gonna do? Cut the camera off. Stop what I'm doing. I'm gonna get out of it. You know why? Because I want my wife to be happy. I want my household to be positive. So that's the word of the day, strength. All right, guys. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and stuff like that, baby. And, we gonna get out of here. All right. Be strong, baby. Be strong. Yes, indeed. Listen, man. I'm strong for me and my family. Am I a perfect person? No. But I've learned, listen, I've been on this earth for a very long time and I'm still learning. Am I where I want to be? No. I believe I'm still in the beginning. I'm not gonna give up on nothing. All my hopes and dreams and everything else, I'm gonna follow it, baby. And I'm not giving up on nothing. And I don't want you to give up on nothing. All this tech toys go out the window when your family ain't taken care of, baby. Think about it. You spent $2,000 on the phone when you know your household needs $2,000 worth of work. So what you gonna do, baby? Are you gonna take care of your house or you gonna buy a tech toy? Let me know. Some of y'all might just buy the tech toy. I don't know though. Be strong, baby. Be strong, baby. All right, Tech Preacher Podcast, baby. I'm out of here, baby. I'm gonna see y'all next week saying back place, saying back time, baby. Man, I love doing this. I love talking to y'all, man. If y'all didn't know, I love talking to y'all, man. I'm long-winded, baby. Listen, if you made it to this part of the podcast, I want y'all to know I'm long-winded. Y'all know I'm long-winded. Y'all know that I'm going to sit up here and talk, preach. That's why they call me the Tech Preacher, baby. But I got the LGB stick to write down my notes, baby. And I got the Galaxy S23 Ultra to write down my notes. Let me tell you something, man. You got to be strong. And, man, you got to be strong. Thank y'all, guys. Listen, I'm going to see y'all next week. Later. Oh! Yes. I'm full throttle, baby. I'm full throttle. Yes. All right, guys, I'm out. Later.